because I know that because you are practicing, right, and then you're lacking of time, so that's why you just write about point. But in the actual exam, right, you should write the full sentence. Just a simple sentence can clearly show about the point is enough for you already. Okay, yeah. So for this one, right, okay, yeah. So yeah, remember to complete. Yeah, remember to complete the question, right, next time. So there's no much mistake about this one. Yeah, generally all correct. Yeah, you can look back. Okay, just for this one, right? Just for this one, you can see, whenever they give you about the 5 marks questions, so that's why your answer should be you at least you should write about 5 important point. Okay, 5 keywords. Yeah, so you can see for this one, right? Yeah, you know about is talking about what? Talking about the translocation. So that's why you should mention about the word translocations from the source to the sink. Okay, so this you can you get 3 marks is because you go right about what? You go right about the sucrose and amino acids. Okay, this is considered 1 marks. Okay, and then write about the leaf produced sugars. Okay, but you miss out one point. The point is the photosynthesis. You should write that the leaf, they will carry out the photosynthesis to produce the sugars or the carbohydrates. Yeah, so you can add on some of the point, right? Like in a girder tree, the sucrose and the amino acid, right, they just stay within the branch because they cannot be transported downward through the removed phylums. And then remember to mention about the translocation, okay, because it's one of the keywords. Yeah, and then you got about the source. Okay, where is the site for the source, which is the leaf, and then and then the sink. Okay, sink, which is the growing fruits. Yeah, so the leaf, right, is they will just produce the sugars, and then the sink is they just use up the nutrients molecule. Use up, which is they will just utilize. Okay, just use these keywords: utilize, or store the nutrients. So just remember that sink, okay, sink. Whenever the weather change to become because winter, winter time or springtime, which is your photosynthesis rate, right, is reducing. So that's why your plant unable to perform the photosynthesis in a very low light intensity. So that's why now the zinc, they will become source. Because zinc consists of that nutrients, okay, zinc, they will store the starch. So the starch can be break down by the enzyme to release into the sucrose or glucose supply to the plants. And then so now your answer also okay. Yeah, you write about the source and the sink, right? You write about the photosynthesis. Okay, well done. Yeah. And then you write about this one. Okay, transport the nutrient and sucrose. It's better if you write the translocation, because when you write this keyword translocation, right, you're referring to this one, transport nutrient and sucrose. And then so I think not much mistake. Yeah, all correct. Okay, so we will continue to discuss about the chapter 11. Okay, yeah, you can open the chapter 11 paper 4. My goal for today is I would like to discuss the chapter 11, 12, and also some part of the chapter 10, and also for the chapter 2 and 3, right? Okay, I also have uploaded some of the exercise, okay, at here. Yeah, so later you can have a look on this one, okay? Because because of paper 4 is not as hard as thing. Paper 4 is just about you should write the correct keywords. Yeah, so that's why you can read about the notes, okay? The notes, because it include those of the type of the question come up before, and then with the keyword, right? Yeah, so you read this one, and then you can refer back to the keyword list that I give to you, okay? Yeah, which is the keyword list. Yeah, this one I think I sent to you before, right? Yeah, the keyword list. And then you can start to practice paper 2 already. And that's where this is the time you can start to practice paper 2. Yeah, because paper 2 also very important, okay? Paper 2 have the highest weightage of much. I mean, yeah, it occupies the highest weightage of mark, even though it's not as much as like in the paper 4, but it's still more important compared to the paper 6. So paper 4 will be priority, Okay, and then it will be very easy to score because you just need to memorize about the keyword. And then for the paper 2, right, it's a bit hard, okay, because sometimes the question, the question come out is in a very indirect way. So later I'll just show you some of the challenging question in the paper 2. So okay, this is chapter 11, right? So I think this is not as hard as the thing, right? You just need to recognize the structures, okay? From the trachea, you can see from the trachea, which is they will just allow passage of air to the both lung, and then to the bronchus, to the bronchus, and then to the bronchiole. You need to recognize, okay? Trachea, bronchus, so bronchus is where? C is a bronchus. Then H will be the bronchiole. Bronchiole is smaller branch compared to the bronchus. M will be the alveolus. And then E is a rib cage. F is diaphragm. And then, okay, this is what is function of cartilage, right? So the cartilage is a C-shaped cartilage is discovered at the trachea. Trachea is made from the C-shaped cartilage. So that's why the function of cartilage, there's 2 functions. First, they just want to keep the airway open, keep the opening of the airways, like trachea and bronchi. And secondly, they will prevent, okay, they will just they want to prevent the airway from being collapsing. So they want to keep the airway open. So once they can keep the airway open, right, they can allow the free flow of the air into the lung. And also, because it's made from cartilage, right? It is made from cartilage. Cartilage is not like bone. Bone is very hard and very rigid. But cartilage is very soft and very flexible. Just like your ear. You know, your ear is made from the cartilage. So that's why it's very flexible and very soft. And then you will learn about the alveolic and anaerobic respiration also. Okay, you can have a look on the notes, okay, which is I sent to you here. I do send you about the chapter 11 paper 4 analysis, which is this one, and also the chapter 12 paper 4 analysis. Okay, so have a look on this chapter 11 paper 4 analysis. Okay, so this already summarized about the important keyword that you need to memorize. So you need to recognize about the anatomy, okay, about the anatomy. And then, which is for this one. This one, okay. You need to know about the mechanism, this one, mechanism of the ventilations, which is what happened during inspirations and expirations. So during inspiration, right, which is your thoracic cavity actually expands, which is increase in volume. So what happens if the thoracic cavity increasing their volume? When the volume increase, pressure will decrease. So the pressure inside the thoracic cavity become lower. So it will cause the higher pressure from the outside, force the air into the lung. So how you can make your thoracic cavity increase in volume? So first, that's your thoracic cavity need to expand, right? Okay, how you can expand it? You can use the rib cage, okay? So that's why your rib cage, they'll move upwards and outward. They're just moving into outward direction. So that's why, and also how your rib cage can move outwards and outwards is they are being dependent on the contraction and relaxation on the intercostal muscle. And then at this one, you have about 2 types of intercostal muscle, right? You have about 2 types of intercostal muscle, which is like this, okay? You can see that actually there's 2 intercostal muscle, which is at one will be at here. Here, okay? So, okay, at this one, you tell me this side, right, is external or internal intercostal muscle. Which one? The light pink color. Here will be another side of the intercostal muscle. Then you tell me the pink color intercostal muscle, right? It is referring to external or internal. What's the answer? Yes? Internal or external? The pink color.
External.
Oh, sorry, repeat again.
External.
Just like external, it's external. And then the orange color, right, it is internal. It's internal. Okay, so, and then let me ask you now, when you want to increase your volume of thoracic cavity, then your rib cage will be moved. See, they are moved this way, right? Outwards, upwards. Then what happened to your intercostal muscle? Okay, what happened to your external intercostal muscle? This one. It will contract or it will relax. It will contract or relax. So you can allow the rib cage to move upwards and outwards. What happened to the external intercostal muscle? Contract or relax? What's the answer? Hello, contract or relax? You want to move outwards, outwards. So what happened to your muscle? What happened to the outside muscle? Contract or relax? Have a guess.
Contract.
Contract. Yeah, it is contract. So just remember in this way, when you want to allow your rib cage, right, to move upwards and outwards, right? So just that this external intercostal muscle, right, they will just contract. Okay, so this external intercostal muscle, so they will just contract. And then what happens if you want to allow your rib cage, right, to move inwards, downwards, which is this direction, moving. So it's like when your rib cage, right, move inward and downward, right, so your volume will be decreasing. With your volume decreasing, pressure will increase, and then you can force your air out through the airway to outside. So this means that this is time that your internal intercostal muscle will be contract. Okay, so that's why this is time that they will contract. They will just contract. So when they contract, right, they can allow the rib cage to move inward and downwards. Yeah. So just remember that when the external intercostal muscle contract and then your rib cage is moving downwards, it's moving upwards and outwards, right? That's the time that your internal intercostal muscle relax. So once your internal intercostal muscle contract, right, that's the time that your external intercostal muscle contract. So this kind of question, they will come up in the paper 2 also. Yeah, they will come in paper 2. So that's why during inspirations, which is your purpose is to increase the volume, decrease the pressure. So that's why your external intercostal muscle will be contract. So while the internal intercostal muscle relax, so the rib cage, right, they just move upwards and outwards. So that's why the diaphragm will contract and flattens. Okay, they just contract and flattens. So which is your diaphragm, right? Okay, your diaphragm is dome shaped naturally. Sorry. Okay, your diaphragm is dome shaped naturally. It's just like this. Okay, you can see my hand, right? This is the state that when your diaphragm is relaxing. But what happens if your diaphragm contract, right? They're just moving like this. So when the diaphragm contract, they will become flattened, and then they can help to increase the volume. Okay, yeah, same thing. Okay, same thing. Just everything right in opposite way. Yeah, so this thing that you know, and then secondly, you need to know about what? You need to know about the structure of the alveoli. Okay, so this is, as they just covered this before. Okay, state 3 feature of alveoli, they made them as an effective gas exchange surface. So that's why alveoli, they should have what? They should have a very large total surface area. And then they have very thin wall, and then one cell thick. So because the wall is very, very thin, right, you can reduce the diffusion distance for the gas to transport. So they can have a short diffusion distance, and then they should have a good blood supply. So that's why all of the alveolus, right, is closely associated with the blood capillary, or we call it pulmonary capillary, which is a capillary found inside the lung. So this is help to maintain the state concentrated gradient, because the alveolus, right, they are always having the high partial pressure of oxygen compared to the partial pressure oxygen inside the blood capillary. So that's why the oxygen, they can diffuse from the alveolus, get into the blood capillary. And then in the blood capillary, right, they have a very high partial pressure of the carbon dioxide. So that's why the carbon dioxide also can diffuse by the simple diffusion, get into the alveolus, and then they will exhale out. And then they have a very moist lining, okay, because your gas, which is oxygen and carbon dioxide, right, is in the gas form. So that's why when the gas come into contact with the surface of the alveolus, right, they should have some moisture on it, okay, moisture, okay, just a little bit water, okay, just a little water. So at least the oxygen, they just can diffuse inside. I mean they can dissolve. Yeah, you need to allow your respiratory gas, right, to dissolve in the water. So only they will be transported to the blood. So this is the 5 feature. And then it covered in exam before. Yeah, so generally for this one, it's like this, okay? Function of cartilage, right? Yeah. Keep the airway open. Okay, keep the airway open. And then you have about 2 locations consists of this cartilage, which is a trachea and bronchi. Only these two only these 2 locations. You cannot find cartilage in the bronchiole. Only trachea and bronchi, which is made from the C-shaped ring. So that's why your bronchiole, and because you have a smaller tube, right, which is they just branch out from the you have a bronchiole. Bronchiole is a smaller tube, right, which is just branch out from the bronchi. So that's why bronchiole, they don't have the cartilage, right? But bronchiole, they have another kind of structure. They have smooth muscle, but this is not in their syllabus. So in your syllabus, you just need to learn about the trachea and the bronchi, which is made from the C-shape cartilage, okay? Because cartilage, they just are in the C-shape. And then the difference in composition for the Inspire and the Aspire A. So in the oxygen, right, they should have a higher oxygen concentrations, and then Aspire, they have a lower, and the Aspire A, right, they have a higher concentration of the carbon dioxide and the water vapors. And then for this one, okay, this is also a very common question, okay? They covered this before. Explain the mechanism that link to increase in the physical activity to the change in breathing. So what happened when you do a lot of exercise, and then what happened to breathing rate? So definitely they will increase also. So that's why the aerobic restrictions in the muscle, they will increase to provide more energy. Because when you do the physical activity, right, you actually increase the demand for the oxygen by your muscle cell. Your muscle cell increase the demand for oxygen, but however, your body unable to meet the demand for the muscle cell. Usually, okay. So that's why when the muscle cell, they do a lot of aerobic restriction, right, they can release a lot of carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide is an acidic gas. So that's why they make your blood pH become acidic. So that's why the pH of blood decrease, okay? And then they'll become more acidic. And then they'll be detected by your brains. Your brains will detect the change in the pH of the blood because due to the increasing carbon dioxide concentration in the blood. So what will do to your brain is, the brain, okay, they will respond. They will just respond to this increasing in the blood acidity by sending the nerve impulse, okay, to the effector. So the effector will belong to the diaphragms and the intercostal muscle. So that's why they can do in their way, okay, to help to increase the rate of the inspiration, which is the breathing. So that's why they will increase the rate and depth of the breathing to remove the carbon dioxide faster, and they will supply more oxygen. So that's why you can increase your breathing rates. Maybe like in 1 minute, right, you just breathe about 70 times. And then in the 1 minute, you just increase about 90 times. You increase the rate. Rate means, right, in 1 hour, in 1 minute, right, it's not in 1 minute. Yeah, it's in about 1 minute, okay? Or we call it second. Yeah, 1 minute. So in the 1 minute, you breathe how many times? So this is the rate. And then depth is about because you're breathing, right, you have a deep breath. So they always say about take a deep breath. Deep breath referring to the breathing is very, very increased in depth. We call it what? 深呼吸. Yeah, deep breath. So that's why when you take a deep breath, right, you're actually increasing the oxygen intake to your body. So that's why you can remove the carbon dioxide faster. You can supply more oxygen. And then how your body able to protect your respiratory airways. So there will have 2 types of cell. Yeah. So you can see you need to recognize the structure of the cell. you need to recognize there's two types of cell. One is goblet cell, okay? One is a goblet cell, another one is C11 cell. Yeah, so what the goblet cell will do? Goblet cell, they will just secrete the mucus. Yeah. And then, okay, you can tell me at this round, where is a goblet cell from this picture? Tell me where is a goblet cell? Where is it? A, B, C, D, which one? Or E? What's the answer? Where's the goblet cell? Hi. A, B, C, D. Which one? Are you there?
C.
Yeah. C? Yeah, correct. C or D, yeah. Because the goblet cell, right? It's just like your slipper, okay? I mean the shape is a bit funny. It's just like your slipper. Yeah, you need to recognize it. And then where you can find the goblet cell? Where you can find the goblet cell? In the refrigerated airway. And also one more location you can discover the goblet cell, which is your digestive tract. You have a lot of the goblet cell along the way of digestive tract in your stomach, in your intestines. Yeah, along your alimentary canal. And then what is the significance of the mucus produced by the goblet cell? Do I include in this handout? Let me have a look. Yeah, see, okay, recognize the how the goblet cell look like. Yeah, you can see this P is a goblet cell, okay? This P is a goblet cell. So goblet cell, they just produce the mucus. And then this Q is a lacteal, okay? Lacteal just transport and fatty acid and glycerol, okay? And then you, this one. So remember your goblet cell, right? Just look like your slipper. Yeah, your slipper. Okay, so this is the function of mucus. Yeah. In the digestive tract, right, they have about 3 functions. This one to protect your intestine lining, prevent the cell digestion of your of your body cell, especially in the stomach. Okay, especially in the stomach, because stomachs they have a very high acidity. So it's why if you have a lot of stomach acid, right, sometimes you might erode. You can erode the stomach lining. So we want to prevent this happen. So we should have a very thick layer of mucus lining on the stomach lining. So that's why mucus they can just prevent the stomach lining from being digested by its enzyme. And then you can protect your alimentary canal because, right, your alimentary canal, which is the long tube, including your esophagus, your stomach, your small intestines, large intestine, right, they're just made from muscle, smooth muscle. They are made from smooth muscle, 肌肉, okay? So that's why they can do contract and relax by the peristalsis. By the peristalsis, yeah, peristalsis, or because peristaltic actions. So that's why it's very fragile. Yeah, it's very fragile, very soft. So that's why you should have a mucus to prevent the digestive tract, right, from being damaged by the food. If the food is they have a very rough and sharp texture or surface, it might injure your alimentary canals. But what happened in the respiratory tract, right? So the function of the mucus is just want to trap the dust particle or impurity. That's all. Okay, we have a look back on the questions. Yeah. Hey, where do I discuss just now? I think it's like here. Yeah, here. Okay, so just remember that mucus is a sticky substance. They can trap. The keyword, I just know the keyword trap. I want to see this keyword trap. Just like the glue, right? They just trap out something. And then you have the ciliated cell. So this ciliated cell is made from the cilia. So cilia, you know that it's labeled as B. So this is tiny hair-like structures called cilia. And cilia will do what? Cilia just with only single L. Remember your cilia is just single L, not double L. So cilia, they will do the beating backward, forward, backward, forward. So that's why they can help to sweep the mucus. The keyword beating. Sweep the mucus with the trapped particles up and down of the airway. okay, toward the throat to be swallowed. The keyword, right about the keyword, trap, beat, sweep the mucus. Okay, that's all. This is chapter 11. Okay, then how about chapter 12? In the chapter 12, right, we learn about what? We learn about there's two types of the respirations, aerobic respiration and the anaerobic respirations. So this is the trend of the past year question, right? Okay. So which is they will ask about what? Okay, they will ask about the equations. You will need to know on how to write the equations, which is the balance equation. Okay. Remember to balance your chemical equation. Usually they will just give you about 3 marks. If you forget to balance it with a correct number, you just only get 1 mark. Okay, so what's your respirations? Respiration, right, is referring to the chemical reactions take place inside the body cell. So they just break down neutral molecule to release energy for the metabolism. Okay, now, Adam Suyan, you tell me, we as a animal cell, right, what we do? We do aerobic or anaerobic respirations. Which one? Which one? I mean, what kind of experiment, right? I mean, what kind of the respirations that our body carry the most? Is aerobic or anaerobic respiration? Which one? What kind of respiration that our body cell carry the most? Aerobic or anaerobic? What's the answer?
Aerobic.
Aerobic. Okay, then this aerobic respiration happen at which part of organelles? What's the name of organelles? They will just carry the respirations. The name. What's the name of organelles? It should be at your fingertip.
Mitochondria.
Sorry?
Mitochondria.
Yeah, it's mitochondria. Well done. Okay, yeah, good. You know it. So mitochondria, they have a special feature, which is what? Highly folded inner membrane. Cristae, right? So they can help to increase the total surface area. So you can increase the rate of the cellular aerobic respirations. Yeah, so this is the keyword. And then sometimes the exam they will ask this one, okay? They will ask about what's the use of energy in the human body. So this is the answer, okay? Muscle contractions, protein synthesis, cell divisions, active transport, growth, yeah, okay? And then you have another one, which is aerobic. Oh, sorry, yeah, you have aerobic and anaerobic, right? So this is the equation for the aerobic respirations. So essentially, right, it happens inside the mitochondria. Yeah. And then what kind of cell they have a highest number of mitochondria? There will be only few types of cells. They consist of very high number of mitochondria. For example, your sperm cell, muscle cell, and also your what kind of cell? Sperm cell, muscle cell, and in the plant cell, right, it will be in the cell tube, which is a companion cell. Yeah. But in the animal cell, you just need to know about the sperm cell and the muscle cell, right? So they consider a very high amount of mitochondria. Okay. And then you have the anaerobic respirations. So it refers to chemical reactions in the cell. They will just break down neutral molecule to release energy. See, break down neutral molecule to release energy without oxygen. Okay, just out in the oxygen. See, hey, I forget to put a thing. I should put one more thing here. Okay, in the presence. Okay, in the presence of oxygen. Right. So this one is in the absence of oxygen. Absence of oxygen. So that's why anaerobic respiration, right? They just release lesser energy. Okay, and then you should know about how to write the word equations for the anaerobic respiration. So this is the answer. Glucose breakdown become lactic acid. That's all. Okay. This is a word equation. This is a word equation. See, word equation. If they ask you to write about the chemical, okay, this one, which is this one, balanced chemical equation, right? Oh, yeah, you should write about the requires the CHO, that kind of thing, the chemical formula. And then you should know about mechanism also, like why your muscle cell able to conduct the anaerobic respirations. So at what kind of conditions they will just do this. So that's why, which is during the vigorous exercise, there will be increasing demand for the energy in the muscle cell because your muscle cell increase in the activity for contraction and relaxations. But however, your oxygens, okay, cannot supply to the muscle fast enough. So it will lead to the insufficient oxygen supply to your muscle cell. So muscle cell, right, they will just switch to the anaerobic respirations. Okay, and then Adam Suyang, not all muscle cells, they will just do this. Only few muscle cells, okay? Few muscle cells, they can switch to the anaerobic respirations. So the reason why they switch to this kind of respiration is because that it is because like this, right? Even though you don't have oxygen supply to your muscle cell, but your muscle cell, right, in the absence of oxygen, they still can carry out the respirations, which is they just break down the glucose in the absence of oxygen. Because in the aerobic respiration, right, you are requiring, you are required the oxygen. You actually require oxygen help to break down the glucose. So that's why you can release the energy, you can release the carbon dioxide and the water. So oxygen is very important because you need oxygen to help to break down the glucose. 你需要氧气去分解你的葡萄糖because inside the glucose, right? Okay, glucose is a chemical compound, you know. Glucose is a chemical compound. Inside this chemical compound is stored a lot of chemical energy. So that's why you need to use the oxygen, right, to break down the glucose. So that's why they can release that energy. They can release the energy. So later the energy will be supplied to your body cell, and then your body cell can get the energy that they can do those activity. Okay, the contraction, synthesis, energy transport, those kind of activity. Okay, so due to insufficiency supply of oxygen to the muscle, it will lead to the anaerobic respiration occur. So that's why the glucose, right, they are break down in the absence of oxygen. So it will lead to incomplete breakdown of glucose. So just remember that in the anaerobic respiration, right, they are actually incomplete breakdown of glucose. So that's why they will produce lactic acid. Okay, these are lactic acids. So lactic acid will just build up in the muscle, okay, and then they'll cause a pH to decrease. And then, okay, Adam, so now you tell me, when the lactic acid is being produced in the muscle, later where they will go? From the muscle, they will go to where? To where? What's the next step? After lactic acid, yeah, liver. Yeah, from the lactic acid, they will travel to the bloodstream, later to the liver. Yeah, they will just go to the liver. So, when the lactic acid arrives at the liver, right, the liver, they'll do what? Liver, they'll do the oxidations, okay? Because oxidation of lactic acids. Yeah, see, lactic acid is broken down and oxidized. See, lactic acid is oxidized into carbon dioxide and water. And then still, you still know how to write the equation for the lactic acids, which is just half of the glucose, right? Glucose is C6H12O6. Okay, lactic acid will be C3H6O3. Yeah. So this is the equation for the lactic acid. Just half of the glucose. So that's why you need to have, like, after you stop the exercise, right, you can feel your heartbeat still remain at a faster rate for a certain period. Maybe about first hour, your heartbeat still remain at a faster rate, but in the second hour, your heart rate will be reducing. So why that once you stop doing the exercise, right, your heart rate still increasing, still running, still beating at the higher rates, is because that they want to transport, okay, they just want to transport lactic acids in the blood, yeah, from the muscle to the liver. So that's why the lactic acid can be oxidized in the liver. And then you are not only increasing your heart rate, your breathing rate also will be remain faster rate. You have a deep and fast breathing. So that's why you can continue to supply extra oxygen to your body, so they can increase the removal of the lactic acids and the waste product. Okay, this is the story for the oxygen depth, if they ask about this one. And then sometimes they'll just come out the yeast and the fungi. Yeah, so this is the equation, okay, the word equations. See, the difference, when they ask you to write about word equations, which is like this, okay, glucose, you put an arrow, put arrows, and then you can write alcohol, ethanol, and then plus a carbon dioxide in the words form, okay, in the words form. But whenever they ask you to write about in the chemical equation, right, which is C6H12O6, they'll become this one with C2H5OH plus CO2. Okay, and then another important thing you need to know is when the yeast is performing the fermentation, right, they're producing what kind of gas? Carbon dioxide. So this carbon dioxide is just very useful in the food making process because carbon dioxide is just how to raise up the dough when they are making the bread. Okay, when they're making the breads or the carbon dioxide, right? Okay, they are being also found in the alcoholic drinks because during the fermentation process, it will produce a carbon dioxide as a byproduct. And then sometimes, right? Okay, sometimes they just set up some the experiments, and then they ask you to like determines how many concentration of carbon dioxide in the experiment. Okay, let me show you an example. Okay, so generally it's just like this. Okay, you can read by yourself. Yeah, read by yourself. Okay, and then sometimes the question will just come in this way. Okay, maybe they just give you a scenario about something happened to your body. Okay, it's like there's a blockage. Okay, for example, there is a blockage in the blood vessel, in the lumen of blood vessel. So at the what happens if there's a blood clot found in the lumen of blood vessel? So it will like it will like inhibit on the blood flow, right? So that's why your blood flow will be reducing. So when the blood flow transport to that target organ is reducing, right? It will cause the oxygen supply to the cell also reduce because you require the blood as a carrier to carry the oxygen to the body cell. So if you have lesser blood reaching that target organs, means that oxygen will also be diffused lesser. So when you get a lesser amount of oxygen, right, which is that organs or tissue or body parts, so they will have a lower rate of aerobic respirations. So that's why they will produce less energy to body cell. Yeah, okay. So generally just like this. Let me show you the example questions. Where is it? I think it's here. It's not this one. Where do I put? Oh. Okay, I think it's okay. Maybe I haven't inserted it. Okay, sorry, just wait me for a moment. I need to insert the file. But I think I will send you in the group. I want to show you about the example of question in the chapter 11 and chapter 12. Right, have a look on the question, right? See, I just discussed few of the important point on it. Yeah. Okay, so this is last year question. Okay, have a read on the last year questions. Okay, B is what? B is bronchus or bronchial. What do you think? B is bronchus or bronchial? How about C? Actually, this is a bit confusing. A lot of students they just get the incorrect answer. But for the marking scheme, right? Okay, A will be trachea, and then B will be the bronchus, and then C will be the bronchial. You know, some of the students they just write alveolus at here. They write alveolus. They thought this one is alveolus. They thought the C is alveolus, but it's not because you can see they're just pointing at here. See, they just pointing around here, here. So that's why this is a bronchial. Bronchial later there will be alveolus, and then alveolus is just like this, okay, just like this, which is on the ending part, the end part. So this one, right, a lot of students they just write the C as alveolus, which is incorrect answer. Okay, how does variant occur? I didn't. Okay, I will not repeat again. You can read by yourself. See the function. Okay, for the goblet and ciliated cell. Yeah, which is the same thing. And then for this one, okay. So just how having a thicker and thicker mucus in the airway will affect the ability of person to do exercise. So I think at this one you have the experience of catching a cold before, right? Like you sneeze a lot and then you produce a lot of mucus, the yellow mucus from your nose too. So what happens if you have a lot of the mucus collected in your airways, right, which is accumulated in the airways, it will cause a narrowing and blockage of the airway. So this will reduce the surface area for the gas exchange. There is a less oxygen delivered to the blood and muscle. Because you have a blockage, so you reduce the blood flow. So that's why less oxygen also delivered. So this will result in the less airway respirations and less energy ATP produced from the muscle contractions. Sorry, I haven't discussed finish. Okay, this one, okay. This is like the GAD diagram. Okay, at this one, last time I had to give you a homework about the GAD diagram. I still, both of you haven't completed it. Later I will just resend again. Later I will just resend again for the chapter 17, and then you can just try your best to do it. So this is about this one, cystic fibrosis. So cystic fibrosis is like it's a kind of inherited condition. Right? They tell you it's caused by the recessive alleles, which is the alleles must be very, very small. Okay, small capital letter is a defective gene. And then complete a genetic diagram. Okay, which is your parents, right? Okay, one they will have. I mean, no cystic fibrosis and no cystic fibrosis, which is this is from the phenotype, okay? And also this is from the phenotype, from the physical appearance. So if the physical appearance, right, they don't have cystic fibrosis, it might be like this, okay, it might be, or it might be like this. Okay, which is the big F and small f, right? It's because carrier. So they might be look normal, okay? They don't have much issue, but when they marry, right? Okay, when they marry, having child, so they will just transfer this kind of defective genes to the next generations. Yeah. So just draw a simple genetic diagrams, and then you get the genotype, you get a phenotype, you get the probability. Okay, which is only one, only this one have the issue only. Okay, this one I will not repeat again, alveolar structures. And then this one, okay, identify letters, they label the muscle with contractions during inspirations. So the answer is P and S. Okay, P and S. See, contract during inspirations. Definitely it will be P and S. P is the external intercostal muscle. So when they contract, right, they can help the ribcage to move upwards and outwards. S is diaphragms. So they just can move downwards. Contract and flatten because what? Contract and flatten. See, they repeat again the question, the cartilage. And then the balanced chemical equations for the aerobic respirations, right? It's just like this. C6H12O6 plus O2 becoming the CO2 and H2O. And then this one, explain the mechanism that link to the increase in the physical activity to the change in the breathing. So how the increasing activity will cause change in breathing. So just need to know that you increasing the oxygen demand for the muscle, okay? And then they will increase the respiration. So they will lead to increase in the carbon dioxide level in the blood. And then this will be detected by the brains. So the brain just later send their effectors, okay? They send the impulse to the effector so they can cause the contraction of the breathing muscle. Okay, and then this is a bit chapter 2, okay? I will not repeat again. Just need to show about this one. See, and also this is the equation that you should write when they're able to ask about the yeast, equation about the yeast fermentations. See, C6H12O6, right? And put arrows. C2H5OH, CO2, balance with 2. And then for this one, they set an apparatus to study the effect of the respiration in the yeast cell. Okay, this one flask contains 100 cm³ of the sugar solutions, and another flask contains 100 cm³ of the water. So both flasks contain the same mass, same mass of the yeast. Yeah, the mass of the yeast. And then the temperature was maintained at 25 degrees Celsius. So this is set up. So they want to study that how the sugar, right, affect the respiration in the yeast cell. So one they have sugar solution, another one they just have plain water without any sugars. So what's the finding? So they will have about two graphs, okay? Yeast in the solutions and yeast in the water. And then you can see, right, in the yeast in the solution, I mean the sugar solution, right? Sugar solutions, due to there's a source of sugars, so they can do the anaerobic respiration. So by this way, they can produce a large amount of carbon dioxide gas. Oh, sorry, where is it? Here. Compared to this one, yeast in the water. Because yeast in the water, they don't have the supply of the sugar. So the yeast unable to do the fermentations, unable to do the anaerobic respirations. And then this one, calculate the rate of the carbon dioxide gas produced by the yeast in the sugar between 10 and 15. So you need to take note about this one. Between the 10 and the 15 is around here. Okay, between 10 and 15, and then calculate the rate of carbon dioxide produced. Yeah, so that's why the volume at the 15 minutes, right, which is around here, because you talk about this one, right, between 10 and the 15. So using the graph, the volume at the 15 minutes is 90 cm cube. Yeah, which is around here, okay? 90 cm cube. And 10 minutes is 11 cm cube. Around here, okay, 11. So you have 19 and the 11. So the rate is calculated in the 1.6 cm cube per minute. Yeah, so this one, right, how you're able to do this? How you're able to get this answer? 1.6 cm cube per minute. Yeah, so this is, you just need to divide, okay? 19 divide 15. Let me check the answer. 19 divide 15, you get how much? Nineteen divide 15, and then the 11 divide 1.1. So that's why you get about 1.6 cm cube per minute. Okay, because we want to calculate the rate of carbon dioxide produced between 10 and 15. So 10 is around here, okay, around here. So that's why this one you can use a ruler later to plot on the graph. Okay, you can use a ruler later to plot on the graph. And then you get the answer. And then for this one, okay, suggest a reason for the oil layer in the apparatus, right? So why you should put the oil arrow, this one, oil layer at here. Why you should put the oil layer at here is because that you want to prevent the oxygens entering to the solutions. Because you want to keep the condition, right, is optimal for the anaerobic respirations. You want to prevent the aerobic respiration happen. Okay, and let's state the reasons why no more carbon dioxide gas is produced in 35 minutes by yeast in the sugar solutions. Because all of the sugar, right, is being used up by the yeast. So this is the answer. Means that your yeast, they want to carry out the fermentation, right, but they don't have the supply of sugar already because already being used up, finished. You need to add new sugar solution. Okay, and then this is topic about enzyme. Explain why no carbon dioxide was produced at temperature 95%. Okay, It's because that when the temperature becomes too high, so the enzyme is being denatured, change the active site. Okay, so yeast cannot respire. And then write about what? Complementary to the substrate. So like this 3 mark, like this 3 mark, okay? You write about the complementary, you write about the active site. Yeah, and then what's the usage of carbon dioxide, which is this one, bread making process and the dough rise. And then what kind of gas? Okay, that's one. What kind of gas they can help in the greenhouse effects, right? So methane will be one of it. Methane. This is the same thing again. See, they always repeat the same questions. Yeah, this is a bit interesting, the graph. So that's why you have two graphs. Volume of air in the thorax. Pressure in the thorax. So you can see when the volume increasing, pressure decreasing. So explain the difference, explain change in the thorax during the section A. Okay, so during the section A, right, which is around here. So what happens if the volume of the oxygen is increasing? The pressure is decreasing. So it's like inhalation, right? Just write based on the keyword given. Okay. This one, during physical activity, the carbon dioxide content of blood increase, and this is detected by the brains. Yeah. So it will increase the depth of breathing. Yeah. So this is a PDF file all about 2025 to 2023. Yeah, the question, okay, a very full set of questions. So I hope you really spend some time to read it, okay? You need to spend some time to read it, know about the keyword, okay? Because if you didn't practice, right, you will forget. Definitely, you will just forget. So this is not good. You should have, you should have you should have a habit of doing the revisions. Yeah, the revisions. And then for this one, okay, compare the process of the anaerobic respiration to the aerobic respiration in the human cell. Yeah, so compare. Okay, and also whenever they ask about this one, comparisons, right? So this answer they should write. The anaerobic respiration release energy per glucose molecule lesser than, or you can write it this way. Anaerobic respiration, right, occur in the absence of oxygen, while aerobic respiration require oxygen. Okay, and then you can write about anaerobic respiration, they just produce the lactic acids. So that's why the aerobic respiration, right, they just produce carbon dioxide and the water. Yeah. So this is whenever question about compare. But there will be one kind of question asked about what? Ask about the differentiate. Maybe you can show about one of the questions, which is here. This one. Okay. Yeah. So at this one, how you able to describe that? Like something question is like this. Okay. Something different from something. Yeah. Like, sorry. How you able to describe that? A different from B. A lot of students, right, they just write A compared to B, which is incorrect. You should only write about the A. Your answer is only about A. You need to write about B. Okay, so that's why you just need to answer based on the normal question now. No need to write the comparison. Yeah. So for example, right, if the question asks about describe how active transport differ from diffusion, you should write about active transport. Okay, they transport against the continuous gradient from low to high. You can write about any kind of thing, but please don't write the diffusion, because this is not about the comparisons. They just want to describe how active transport become different than other. Okay, and then describe the trend of the graph. See, show about increasing, decreasing, which the are they counting. Okay, so whenever the question asks about the percentage, right, you need to write about percents. Yeah. And then whenever you want to calculate the percentage of change in the mass, right? So finals minus initial. Okay, which is in a word just like this. We go back to the question just now. Yeah, this one. So this is the heart rate and the breathing rates of the athletes. Sorry, the athletes. Okay, the athletes during the race and the recover after the race. Yeah, so you can see initially, right, when they having exercise, you can see the heart rate increasing, but later when they stop and rest, the heart rate decreasing. Yeah, so at this round, the rate of breathing increased during the race in response to the change detected by the body. So identify the stimulus in the response and state the organs that detect the stimulus. So that's why, what's the organs? So which is the brain, okay, the brain. So the brain, they will detect it and then they can respond to it. So the stimulus will be the increasing in the carbon dioxide level in the blood. Okay, and then for this one, right? Okay, they ask you to calculate the rate of decrease in the heart rates from 125 seconds to 260 seconds as the athlete recovers. So we should calculate based on the not just now, okay? 125 around here. And then you have about 260. And then so that's why that how you're able to calculate the decrease in the heart rate. So that's why you should do in this way, which is the 184. This one, okay? 184 minus 112. You get about 72. So the time difference, okay? And that's why the time difference between 260 and 125, right, is about 135 seconds. So later, 72 divided the 135, you get about 0.53 beats per minute per second. You know how to answer for this one? You just need to find about the how many beats per minute at each of the second. And then you compare, okay? You compare with the data that I give you. Yeah, so you can see this graph, right? Very interesting part is whenever they reach about how many? 60 to 420. Whenever they reach about 60 seconds to 420 seconds, which is around here. Okay, I cannot draw it. Why? Yeah, around here. Where is it? So that's why from the 60 second onwards, the athlete would stop running, but the heart rate and breathing rate decrease slowly and remain higher than the resting level because the body has an oxygen debt. So you require extra oxygen to break down the lactic acids and build up during exercise in the liver. So remember about the keyword, which is like this, okay? Heart rate and breathing rate, you write about this one, decrease slowly and just remain. And then has an oxygen debt. So to break down the lactic acids, build up the exercise in the liver. Okay, and then for this one, I think generally all will be the same thing. So that's why it's very important you need to go through the passage. At least you can catch some of the point. For example, in this way, see the balance equation for the anaerobic reaction in the yeast, right? Yeah, C2H5OH. So that's why when you have a balance, remember to add the number in front. Yeah. That's all. So that's all for this chapter 11 and chapter 12. Okay, read on the answer, okay? And just read on the answers. Please spend some time to read our answer. And then for this chapter 3, right? Okay. I will also send you in future I'll just send you on the Google Classroom. It will be better for you to download also, because if you send in the WeChat file, right, it's very hard to trace back. Okay, it will be very, very hard to trace back. Okay, so this one about the chapter 3, the epidermis, right? Yeah, epidermis. So state, why is it important that the tissue is transparent? So it's important that it's transparent because it allows light to pass through them. So they can do the phototropism. Yeah, so light must reach the chloroplast located in the mesophyll cell or palisade cell. So this cell requires the light for the photosynthesis. Okay, yeah, which is around that. Okay, so now we go to talk about the next topic. So we talk about what? We talk about the chapter 11, 12. Okay. And then we can have some time. Okay, come. I want to let you to do a questions. Let's try this question together. Okay, this one. It's about the respiration, the breathing rate. So what's the answer for this question? See, you can see my screen now, right? I'm showing the objective paper too. Can you see? You are there? Okay, you are there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the answer for this number 20? Yeah, this one. Have a try. Okay. Which is like this. Okay. This is about the times, minutes. This is a breathing rate, breath per minute. So in 1 minute, how many time of breath? So usually, right, in the humans, in the resting stage, right, is around 10 above. Between 10 and 15, this is a normal range for the humans. And then you have an average total volume of the air breathed out. So that's why you need to convert it, okay? For example, 5,000, right? 5,000 convert become 12. You get 417, which is for the first one. So what is mean by this 417? Okay, so this 417 referring to because right, breath per minute, okay? So this is cm³ per minute. So this 417 is referring to how many breaths for that one cm³. So sorry, and then 9,000 minus 12, 750. And then this one, 15,000, 15,000 minus 12, you get about 1250, okay? How about 20,000 minus 11? Okay, you get about, I can't see. Okay, yeah, I can see now. 1111. Okay, so for the 25,000, okay, 25,000, okay, you get about 25,000 to minus divide 1136. So what's your answer?
Boy.
Yes, the answer is boy. Okay, correct. Yeah. One more. Okay, one more. We can try about this one. Yeah, this one. Have a try. This is tricky answer. Okay. What's your choice? Okay, a young seedling is growing underground. So the should grow towards the surface of the ground. Should grow toward the surface of the ground. Toward the surface of the ground. And then the roots grow away from the surface of ground. So what's the answer for this one? A, B, C, D. You want to have a guess? So what do you think about this answer? A, B, C, D. Okay, I just explained it. A. Yeah, the answer is boy. Okay, boy. Okay. Yeah, so that's why this is very tricky, right? So the answer is A. You might be wondering why the answer is A. It's because, right, sure about this one. Young seedling. Young seedling. This is a seed. Seed, they will do what? Germination. Germination require light energy or not? Yes or no? Does seed germination require light energy? Yes or no? Can a germinate? I mean, can the seed, when they are doing the germinations, they can do photosynthesis or not?
No.
No, correct. So that's why this is A. Because this seed, right, is growing. It's just very young. They still unable to produce their first seed. So that's why this answer is A. Okay, this is A. Because they cannot do the photosynthesis in the young seedling. And then this show about what? Okay, this show about, yeah. You can refer to here the explanations. Okay. Since the seedling is just underground. See, the seedling is just growing underground, which is just growing under the soil. So there will be no light reaching on it. So this means that phototropism, right, they cannot be triggered, either roots or shoot, right? So that's why they will be 0, okay? No. For the gravitropism, right, in the absence of the light, the seedling, they just relying, they just depend entirely on the gravity, up or down. So for the root part, see the root part, they just grow with the gravity downwards, which is away from the surface. So this is showing about what? This is showing about the positive gravitropism, because the roots, right, they just grow in directions which is same to the direction of gravity, which is just grow downwards. See, they away from the surface. Yeah, the away, which is just imagine, right? This is like this. This is a seed. Okay, and then this is the roots part. And then this is their first leaf, right? Like this. So that's why the root will show positive gravitropism. The shoot, they will show negative gravitropism, but the answer is yes lah, okay? Yes. Even though it is negative, but the answer is still yes, because they are still responsive. Yeah, they are still respond to the gravitropism for the shoot, because they just grow towards the surface of ground, right? They are just growing away from the gravity. Okay. Have a look on this. What's the answer? Yeah, this one. Okay, this shows about the inheritance of the genetic conditions in one family. So you can see that there will be about shaded part. Okay, shaded part is female with condition. They didn't tell you what kind of disease is it. They just tell you which one have the affected one.
A.
And then what's the answer? A. Okay, the alleles for the condition must be called dominance. What do you think? A. It's like this. Okay, so that's why female with the condition, right? Okay, if it is affected, there will be two possibility. It's caused by dominant alleles or recessive alleles. Dominant alleles, right, is like this. Okay, which is the dominant alleles, they will just carry the disease. So if like this or like this, right, with these dominant alleles, they will be affected. This is the we call it autosomal dominance. Yeah, dominance. Okay, but what happens if the alleles, right, is caused by the recessive one? It will be like this, okay, which is the small a, okay, they will be affected. All right. So if it's like this, okay, it will not be affected. It's still a normal, but it's a carrier. Okay, it's a carrier. Oh, sorry. Where is it? It's a carrier. Okay, so that's why when you look at this condition, right, you are not sure, but you can conclude. Okay, you can generate your own possibility. So that's why this is the normal parents. This is the affected parents, right? And then, for example, okay, if you want to put like when you talk about the recessive alleles, okay, we want to when you think that this condition is caused by the recessive alleles, right? So AA, AA. So later, the genetic diagram is like this: AA, AA, or AA, or another AA. Yeah, so this is possible because one of the offspring, right, they have affected. Okay, how about this one also? Okay, this is also the same thing, right? Yeah, which is you have one AA and AA, one BA, oh, one small a. Why it shouldn't have two big A? Because if all that is two big A, right, it will be AA. But this showing that it's affected. So it cannot be one big A, one small a. So definitely there must be a carrier at here, which is one big A, one small a. So that's why you can produce the same combination like in the first one. You will have a small a, and then you have a big A. All right. Yeah. Yeah, okay, like this. And then, okay, but for this one, right, this one, when this, with this, right, it's showing about what? You see, if your combination is like this, A, and A, what happened to your offspring? Your offspring must be all of them is recessive, but one of them is normal. So that's why you can rule out this already. You can rule out this, which is the recessive alleles, right? Is the one. It is the one who causing the condition. So that's why if you put it this way, right, you have the AA and AA. One big A, one small a. Okay, one big A, one small a. And then this is caused by the dominance alleles. So you produce what? You produce the AA, okay? AA or AA, 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 okay, and then or yeah. So that means I mean, if given the condition that this disease is caused by the dominance allele, okay, dominant, which is this one, okay, the alleles which carry the big capital A, right, it will get the disease. And then you go back, okay, yeah. So if you work in this way, right, it will be more. I mean, it will be more logic, correct? Because you produce once. I mean, the offspring which is the recessive one, and then recessive one is a healthy one, which is this one, two small a. Then okay, you can go back to here, okay, you go to here. So it's like if you change it, becoming that the one who affected, right? It is the big A. Okay, one big A, one small a. Yeah, one big A, one small a. And then here will be two small a. Like this, okay? And then you can get your possibility, which is you will have the one big A, one small a. Which is they will have a disease, okay? They will have a disease like this. Yeah, so this is the affected one, okay? Affected one, they will have the disease, okay? One BS, one small a, right? And then you can you can produce another AA and AA, which is normal. This is same thing also here, right? Which is you will have the one BA, one small a, and then you have AA, AA. So that's why you can produce the offspring, which is one BA, one small a, another one BA, one small a, and then you have so that's why this two is normal. Okay, see, all small a, right, it is normal. So that's why the answer is what? So that's why A must not be answered already. Because what's meant by codominance? Codominant referring to that both alleles, right, which is one big A, one small a, they are all expressed in the phenotype. So what's the answer? It's B or C? Which one?
B.
Yes, it's B, correct. It's B. Yeah, it's caused by dominance allele. It's because that yeah, you have the big capital A, right? It's carry the disease. So why you answer? Okay, one answer for this one, right, is one big A, one small a. It's not two big A because it's caused by two big A, right? That means your answer is all of them will be the affected. Because all of the offspring they will just carry the one big A, the dominance A. So that's why the answer is B. Okay, it's not caused by recessive also because it's caused by recessive alleles, right? It's not make sense for this one. Okay, so you can see, right, the pink color, right, it is not making sense. The blue color, right, the combination is making sense. So that's why it's B. Just do your I mean write your combination. It's a bit indirect. Okay, it's a bit indirect. See the question, okay? Which diagram for the 05 is labeled correctly? This one. So I just want to show you that objective question is not as easy as you think. Sometimes it's harder than your paper 4. Yeah, it's harder for your paper 4. Paper 4, right? You just need to read the keywords that I give you. Read the past year questions, the answer. You know about the trends. And then you can, you will know how to answer it. But the objective, right, is a bit different. So that's why I think now you can start to practice your objective answer. And then if you want to score A or A star, okay, in the exam, right, you should wrong less than 5 questions, which is 35 out of 40. Or even though you want to get A in the paper 2, right, you should wrong less than 8. Yeah, maximum you can get about 33 over 40. Okay, so you need to practice already. Okay, for the paper 2. Yeah, okay, we have to try for this one. 05. 05. So which one is labeled correctly? Yeah, you have a waxy layer to stop water evaporations. Extensive root system to maximize water uptake. Yeah, so I think the answer would be the A and B lah. A and B. So the answer is A. Okay. Because you will not have the you will not have the waxy layer to increase water evaporation, right? Waxy layer is waterproof, right? It's waterproof. So that's why you can reduce the water loss from the 05. This is their purpose. So that's why you can try to do the paper 2. Okay, paper 2. Yeah. And then any kind of the question which is indirect. 15 also. You want to try 15? Okay, have a try on 15. This one. investigate the effect of humidity on the transpiration. She set up two sets of apparatus with the identical size, plants of the same species. So you have a plastic bag, okay, one without, one with a plastic bag. And then the mass of the water in the both tubes, right, were measured at the start of the investigation and again after 5 days. So the table show result of the investigations. So X and Y, okay, what happened to it? So X, right, they have a mass of the water in the tube at the starting, so which is around 40.3. Okay, 40.3, the mass of water. Yeah, they refer to the weight of water. So in the X, right, is 40.3. But after they finish the experiment, so they'll become 34.6, which means that they will just lost about how many water? 40.3, right, minus 34.6. Okay, you get 5.7. Yeah, you will lose about 5.7 water. Yeah, 5.7 water. And then how about Y? How about the Y? Okay, Y 40 minus 39.4 is 1.6. So which statement describe and explain this result? So which one have a highest rate of transpiration? X or Y? X or Y? You can refer to the loss of water. A, B, C, D. Okay. Transpiration in the tube Y was higher.
Donkey.
Donkey?
Donkey. Yeah.
Donkey? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Transpiration in the tube Y was lower than tube X. Yeah, because you know that X lost more water. So X, they have a higher rate of the transpiration, right? Why they lost lesser amount of water. So that's why if they are being trapped with plastic bag, so they refer to the plastic bag, they will just increase the humidity because water vapors cannot be released to the atmosphere. They just trapped inside the plastic bag. So that's why they just lost less amount of water. Because if you increase the humidity, right? If you increase the humidity, you are actually reducing the rate of transpiration. Okay, and then so another question, right, which is a bit challenging. Okay, where is it? This one you know how to calculate it. This one 36. You know how to calculate it. Okay, what is the percentage of energy is lost between producer and secondary consumer? This is a producer. This is secondary consumer.
Donkey.
Sorry?
Donkey.
Donkey? Yeah, how you get donkey? 10 over 1,000. Yeah, the answer is donkey, correct. Yeah, I think you can try by yourself. Okay, this also. Yeah. See, so that's why you should you should try more on the inheritance questions because it's really very tricky for you. Okay, so I think for our next class, right? Can you do the homework for the inheritance? Yeah, for the paper. I think you can just try on the paper 2 already. Yeah, you can try on paper 2. You can train by yourself. Get wrong by less than 5 questions. Okay, and then okay, so now we can have a look on this one, right? So this is the family showing that there's 6-linked recessive disease. So it tells you about it is recessive disease. So caused by the recessive alleles. So which individual in the diagram, right? They are heterozygote for this disease. Which one? Which one is heterozygote? Right? Which is they are carrier. They have a big A and small a. So that's why you should know that this affected, right? Affected male and female. Okay. And then they tell you it's 6-linked. 6-linked means what? 6-linked means that male is affected more or female affected more. Male, right? Yeah, you can see because you have 4 and 5. which is both of them are male, is being affected by the disease. So that's why it's like this, okay? X, Y, which is, you can put a small x. I mean, this one small a. Small a referring to they are having the disease. This also XY with small a. They carry the recessive alleles. They just carry the recessive alleles. And then tell me which one is heterozygous. So what happened to your 1 and 2? Your 1 and 2 is which one? Okay. Your number 1, right, is XY. Okay, XY. Number 2, right, is XX. Is female. So that's why, what is your number 1? Number 1, XY. So you have the, because it is normal, right? So that's why male, they should have a normal alleles, right? How about the 2? Okay, 2 is, they must be a carrier. Yeah, they must be carrier. So it's 1 big A, 1 small a. So that's why they will cause some of the alleles, right, become carrier later. So that's why they will produce a genetic combination like this, okay, which is big A. Okay. Big A. Big A. And then second one, like this. And then for the mu X, XY, yeah. And then the final mu will be affected, which is like this. Okay. Yeah, this one. So this is affected. Okay. And then you have a carrier. Yeah, you have a carrier. So this is a carrier, which is number 3. So number 2 is carrier. Number 3 is carrier. So that's why you can produce a mu, which is affected, because they just inherit the recessive allele from the mother, which is carrier. So the answer is 2 and 3. Okay. So how about this one? What is this? Cell of the mammalian embryo shortly after fertilization. So what's the answer? What is this? This show about what? Can you recognize it?
Mitosis.
Mitosis. So which is the stage? A, B, C, D.
C.
B?
C.
C. Okay. Yeah. So this is a cell of the mammalian embryo shortly after fertilization, right? So you know that embryo, they only become embryo. So you can see, okay, the meiosis will produce the gametes, right? The male and female gametes. So when these two gametes, they just fertilize together, they will produce a zygote, diaplozygotes. So diaplozygote, they just undergo mitosis and then become embryo. Embryo is a ball cell. So that's why embryo is the one who carry the mitosis. So A is incorrect. And B, right, gametes, okay, they also incorrect. Okay, because gametes, they will just undergo meiosis. So I say C. Yeah, it's C. Stem cell. Yeah, it's a stem cell. Because zygote, they will undergo mitosis. So this just show about what? This actually show about mitosis. Okay, the mitosis. Okay. Okay, have a try on this one. 29. The graph shows change in the thickness of lining of the uterus wall during the menstrual cycle. Which date is the last day of menstruations? Okay, you should know that. See, thickness of the lining of the uterus wall. Oh, where is it? Yeah, so you can see, right, the thickness right there, reducing. Okay, so this means what? What happened at this point? And then later is increasing. So this must be showing that your uterus lining, right, they are repaired. Okay, they are being repaired, built up. So this is under influence of the estrogen cycle. Sorry, not estrogen cycle, estrogen hormones. So estrogen hormone, they just promote the repair of the endometrial linings. So later they'll be maintained by the progesterone. Okay, the progesterone. So what happened at this point? Okay, what happened at this point? And then which is the last day for the menstruations? What's the answer? Last day for the menstruations. A, B, C, D. 16 is here. 20 is around here. 8 is around here. 4 is around here.
C.
Sorry? C? The answer is C. Cat. This one? Why do you think the answer is C? Which is the last day for menstruations? Menstruations. Okay, you tell me, where is your menstrual phase? Where is your menstrual phase? Okay, is it here? Or here? Or here? You tell me, which one you think is a menstrual phase? Menstrual phase, referring to the shedding of the endometrial lining. So you think which is a phase? A, B, or C? And number 1, number 2, or number 3? And that's going to tell me which one is the menstrual phase. Number 1, yes. Number 1 is the menstrual phase, okay? Menstrual phase is referring to when the endometrial lining, right, they are just shedding off. So that's why the women, they will have bleeding, menstrual. So that's why the answer is A, okay? Number 4. Last day for menstruations. 16, right? 16 is around that. So remember, 14 you have what? 14 you have the ovulations, right? Ovulation, okay, which is you have a surge in your luteal, your luteinizing hormones. Yeah, you have a ovulation on the day 14. So that's why number 16 is definitely not a last day for the menstruations. Okay, because menstruation will not occur after ovulations. Menstruation will not occur after ovulations. Menstruation happens first. Menstruation happens first. Your endometrial lining shedding off first, and then you rebuild back your endometrial wall. And then that's the time that ovulation will just come to take off. Yeah. Ovulation happen at day 14, so you can just referring to the knots. Okay, you can revise back. Okay, I know. I know it's a lot of things to study, but you can revise back. I mean, the most effective way to study biology is that you should do the questions. Do the question first. Don't read first. Do the question first. And then if you are not sure, right, you can refer back to the notes, to the explanation for the answer. So and then you can remember better. You need to do questions. It's very important. Yeah. So you can see the menstrual phase, right, which is at where day 3 and day 5. Okay. The first 5 days will be the menstruation cycles. So what happened at this point is the follicle stimulating hormones. Actually, follicle stimulating hormones, right, they just has the highest level at these first 5 days. Yeah, so they'll just secret estrogen later. Day 14, you will have what? Ovulation, which is your graphic follicle, okay? Your secondary follicle, yeah. Your secondary follicle, they will just release their oocyte, which is the ovum. So later they will fertilize with the sperm. Okay, so you see, it's not as easy as thing for the paper 2. So now we will do more on the paper 2, okay? Can we do more on the paper 2? Yeah, and then you know the style of the questions. And then for the paper 4, right? Okay, I'll just leave it at here first, and then I will upload the questions and the answer. I'll upload the question answer for each chapter, right? Which I'll just upload at here, okay? Because I upload in the WeChat, it will be it will be very, very messy, yeah. And then the document will expire also, okay? So that's why I'll upload at here. Yeah, okay. You can refer to here, okay, must read paper 4 keyword analysis for each chapter. And then, yeah, this one, okay, some of the question, okay, some of the model answer. Yeah. So after I have done my uploads, right, I will inform you in the WeChat group. Okay, so at the current point of time, we should do more on the paper 2, okay? Train more on the paper 2. And then around March, right, I'll give you on the paper 6 again, because you are going to take your paper 6 exam on the April 23. Yeah, on the 23 of April, you're going to take your paper 6 exam. So that's why on the March, starting on the March, right, I'll just give you more on the paper 6. So that's why when you take your paper 6 exam on April 23, right, you can remember it better. But paper 6, no worry for that. Okay, just need to memorize the few keywords. Okay. Okay, so do more on the paper 2. Okay, please do more on the paper 2. Practice yourself. Okay, you see you want to do first, and then you want to mark by yourself, and then you can send back your answer to me, because I want to have a look of what kind of question you have did wrong. Or you just want to do it first, and then you can send back to me, and then I cover marks, and then we can find time to discuss the wrong questions. Up to you, okay? Okay, that's all for today. And that's where. So remember to do on the paper 2. I'll upload more question on here. So this one. Have you tried on this one? Have you tried on this question? Oh, where is it? Here. Have you tried on this? I do upload some paper 2 questions on here. Google Classroom. Okay, if you haven't do it, you can spend some time to do it, okay? And then you can send to me, and then we can discuss again in this coming Sunday. Okay? So that's all for today. Yeah, study smart. Read all the keyword, okay? Bye. Good night.